Heidi ho, everyone, and welcome once again to this week's edition, or this Monday evening edition of Learn to Trade Live, the US Open. Well, this is actually the precursor to that as we hurtle towards, in an hour's time, the opening of what may well be a non-event for the day, given that we have a bank holiday in both the US, most importantly, of course, and to a lesser degree in Canada. They both are celebrating Labor Day. And that's a dirty word. It's like a four-letter word, isn't it? W-O-R-K. But yeah, that's what's happening. And like I said, it may well be a non-event, this trading session upcoming. That said, we can always chat about things that are related to trading, and I'm sure we'll be doing a fair bit of that throughout the session. And all that said, I have got a couple of positions that I am looking to trade. In fact, euro dollar short is the first of those, and don't think that's been triggered yet. No, it hasn't. I'll share that with you guys. It's Monday after all, for goodness sake. This is a fairly risky scenario, I've got to say, but I will share it with you. Trading this bar here, and we are looking to pick up a very short burst, and only a very short burst. We've got a trade line here, or my version of a trend line, and it has been broken, and we've come back beneath it. What we didn't get was a decisive retest of the backside of that, but it is at a confluence area in daily pivot, and I do believe if price comes back down this way, it should test the lows that we established just last week. Well, in fact, over Friday and Thursday, which coincided with this low over here from the end of August. It is also, of course, trying to play in concert with my little, what I call three little Indians sitting here. 1, 2, 3, 3 ducks on a pond, if you like, that have all failed to clear this area here. And again, my contention is if we come back in here, then we should see the bottom of that. And that's kind of what I'm playing here at the end of the day. Very, as I say, it's a fair bit risky because we've got a very small candle, and it's not the candle that I wanted to see. But it's worth, maybe 1/4% risk or something like that. And that's what I am trading on euro US dollar at the moment. And mind you, I've been very, very, very wary about trading the US dollar, both for and against, because I think it's very unreliable at present and has been for some time. Again, it is attempting to rally, and I know it has got above that 93 handle, and let's see how that continues, or if it can continue for at least the rest of the day when, as I say, there is a bank holiday before us. What else is happening? Well, the pound's having a shocker, an absolute Barry Crocker, as we call it here in Australia, being sold off with gay abandon, I might add. How's it affecting the FTSE, Ash? And good evening to you, or good afternoon
Good
to you.
evening, mate. Yeah, but it's very positively actually, which is no major surprise that the FTSE's having a half decent day today. And I said earlier that this is the real challenge for the difference, if you like, in value between the US and the UK stocks specifically, but it might even be the difference in value between the UK and the European stocks, but. The euro is pushing to the downside. So as we see the dollar strengthen, and you were bearish on the euro, and I'd be completely in agreement with you there. And I suppose overall it's a potentially bullish dollar story, but we're looking at the pound, and the pound has continued to weaken, and then as the pound continues to weaken, then yes, we do see the FTSE 100, which is hiding. There it is, going in the opposite direction. So a pretty good day actually from the FTSE's perspective. We opened up down here. Better to look at this on a 15-minute chart here. We opened up down here. So this was the first bar of the day. This is the open, and we are currently up quite nicely over 1%. Actually on the from the open of the UK. I will double check that. And I think, as suspected, the CAC which is probably maybe the safer play right now when it comes down to buying up any equities, In fact, the FTSE 100 up 2% on the day, near 2% on the day. CAC is up 1.3% on the day, and the DAX is up 1% on the day. So FTSE's having a really good time of it, and I think that is, as you illustrate, off the back of some weaker pound data or weaker pound sentiment coming in, and that will probably continue.
The story there is Brexit related, we would think.
Yeah, back on the cards, mate. Brexit back on the cards, and the UK government really playing hardball, and in such a way that in such a way that that the market, as you can see here, is not appreciating that their particular strategy right now. It could play hardball and get what it wants, but what the market is basically saying is that that particular strategy is going to probably result in a potential no-deal Brexit. So the pound is weakening off the back of it, and we see it right across the board, really, with the pound off the back of that particular stance. Look at the euro pound also pumping itself to the upside at a technical level.
We don't want to see that.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it got to the monthly pivot, and so far it's going beyond it, and this trend line here may well now be seen. The price action and the technical picture is certainly for some further downside, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, from this particular point to see the pound just against the euro just managed to edge its way up to this point. Whoops, let me just change the color. Edge its way up to this particular point here and then come back. And then maybe get caught in a little bit of a range between monthly pivot and trend line until we get the situation sorted out. But a break, I would have thought, out of that price action box somewhere along the line will probably result in a fairly significant trend after that was to happen. So we need to keep our eye on that. What's happening from one day to the next, and it's no different to the vaccine scenario where one day we hear that there's a vaccine being created and the market flies. The next day or the next week, we kind of hear that it still won't be here for another year and a half, and the market starts to ease back a little bit. And
Speaking
I just think today,
UK's got some bad numbers in that regard too, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we got a count of around about 3,000 yesterday, but interestingly, the deaths are going down, which is due to supposedly due, I should say, to a few different potential factors. I think one of the factors that has been noted is the fact that most of the people that are recorded as in that 3,000 are between 21 and 44, so they're a much younger group than was being reported initially. So I think the older generation are either taking more care now, or they maybe the more vulnerable ones just haven't managed to make it through, and now we're kind of left with a slightly stronger group. Another theory is that social distancing and people wearing the masks is making the COVID, the disease less harmful because it's not able to kind of generate quite as much strength hopping across a slightly bigger space. I don't know if I buy into that one either. And the third one, what was the third potential argument? That COVID actually has weakened. It seems that particular argument is not all that, doesn't have that much of weight to it.
I can't imagine why. I mean, how would that even happen?
I don't know. I guess maybe no dissimilar to a cold. When it gets passed from person to person and people start building up immunities to these things, then maybe the strain does start to weaken. I'm not sure, in complete honesty, mate. But I
think that's
we are seeing a push on the FTSE.
Anyway.
It's definitely the case that the FTSE is in better shape today than its European and US counterparts, but then we are closed for Labor Day, so it's the futures market which is looking a little bit weaker on the euro, on the US side of the market, which just doesn't seem to have moved much.
So, can we trade or can we not?
Well, we can. At this particular stage, the question is, what would you trade? And I think if I was looking at a market that we have right now, then yes, I'd like to go short. And it's really a question of where. I'm still not convinced about the long. Even though the FTSE has picked itself up a little bit, I'm still not convinced about the long. I'd be much more happy with a short in the market, and it might well be the monthly and weekly pivot. We might well see that over the course of the next few days. And if we were to see that's a particular price point, then I probably will take a short in the FTSE, but not right here. And if your question is, can we trade today? The answer is probably not, because I would be surprised if it just continues to push higher. When we still have this hangover from last week, and we also have an important ECB press conference on Thursday, which may even roll a bit of Brexit into it. But if the pound continues to weaken like it does, then the FTSE really probably is the hottest game in town today.
Okay, but not willing to go
Not tradable.
any
I don't
further.
think it's tradable.
Yeah, and that you'd base that pretty much on it's gone too far already. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think there probably was a fair opportunity this morning, but you are counter trend trading then, and that's maybe some of the problem. It's not only the fact that it's gone too far; it's maybe more to the fact that it's not going in the direction I'd like. I'd much prefer to see this market popping just a little bit higher, letting it go. Not necessarily get involved in the pop higher, but I'd like to see the market pop a bit higher. And if it popped up a bit higher, then I'd be quite keen to get short on it. If we were looking at the Nasdaq, which I think again is probably one of the hottest games in town, if we were going to try and get a short, it's just struggling to catch any kind of bid today, and it hasn't really gone anywhere, and it will probably remain fairly suppressed. But because the Nasdaq's got a pop, probably back to where the weekly pivot was last week, around about the 11,850 level. Before I'd be interested in a short, and it's all the way down at 11,450 right now. So it's got some work to do, mate, before I'm really interested. But the risk on sentiment so far today, though muted, is there. But that's probably not the direction of travel that I think is the safest. I think it's honestly could turn at any point.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the currency charts. Very much well, if there was to be a move, it's probably happened. And I'm the same with you. The Aussie pairs I'm interested in trading this week. The Euro pairs I'm interested in trading this week. But they're a little bit messy at the moment. And it is Monday with 2 public holidays. So, yeah.
What's your direction of travel for the Aussie?
Oh, look, I'm prepared to look at it in either direction, to be honest. But I think on balance, I would be bullish.
Oh, okay.
But again, I'm prepared to look at it in either direction because we're in a situation where, I'll show you Aussie CAD, for instance, which is one I'm looking to trade. If you're done.
Yes, I'm done, mate. Yeah.
Righto. Share. It's gone. Just love how these control panels disappear on Zoom.
Yeah, those always seem to be a bit different, doesn't it?
That's frightening. It's like being in the car without a steering wheel. And that's not much fun. So with the Aussie CAD, for instance, I'm looking to trade it to the bottom of the range and then back to the top. So, and I expect that there's probably room for this to go higher. Because we have broken, to my mind, this level here, which was pretty crucial, I would have thought, and now we're coming back to retest it. So maybe there's even room to, and I looked at this yesterday when I was doing my analysis, and I thought, okay, break and retest a monthly pivot. That's something I do like to see. I don't like to go long at resistance levels, but I can totally see that happening. But I think I want to trade it short first, and that's far more my preferred option, is to trade down to the bottom and then pick up the long from down here rather than from up here. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit okay short to get longish, I guess, if I can put it that way. Not sure if I'll be trading it short. Don't really like the look of those 2 bars sitting there. If I'm wishing to trade short, they're not what I want to see. But if we get up a little bit higher, and put in that lower high that we seek always when we're coming back off the top of a range, I'd be more than happy with that. So that gives us plenty of room to take profit before we hit these lows. So I'm looking for that pullback probably to continue to the monthly pivot, maybe even a little bit beyond. If I can find a horizontal level of confluence through here, that would help. But that looks really to be bang on the monthly pivot, that level as well. So that's kind of the key here for me. I'll be looking at something like this. So price to get up here, then give me a candle that looks maybe, I don't want it to be that big, but if it looked like that shape-wise, I'd be okay if it had a white body. Well, let me give you the example of what I'm looking for, I suppose. Yeah, something like that would be good. If I could cut that from there and put it there, I think that'd make me happy. So something that looks like that would be good. But white body, I don't want a black body, I want a white body. And that would be my my trigger to go short. Stop here, take profit here, take profit here, and then look for a bounce and a higher low. And the real trade that I want to get into is this one, to go not only to there but through there, upwards and onwards. So that's the plan on Aussie CAD. I won't go through the whole lot of them. They're all going to be very, very similar. There's one that confounds me a little bit, I've got to say, and it's going to have a lot to do with timing through this week, I'm sure, and that is Euro Aussie. Because Euro Aussie is quite the reverse of my bias. My bias is short Euro, long Aussie, yet I find myself with a bullish outlook on Euro Aussie, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I'm not sure how you guys would deal with that, but this is coming off a base again. That big bullish bar there last Thursday was very, very interesting. Took us up to the monthly pivot. If I go a bit tighter now, I can show you what I'm looking for. Took us straight up to the monthly pivot, and it's there that I'd be expecting, as we've seen, a bit of a retrace on that big move. But it is what I consider to be a clear reversal, well, a key reversal, I'll put it that way. Key reversal bar. Had this been a complete inside bar, I would have been interested in trading that long. It's not, and that makes it a little bit tricky. So therefore, yes, I've still got a long bias to the top of this range. Maybe that's as far as I want to go with it, but I need now to see a higher low here. So it's exactly the same scenario upside down, if you like. If I get price back to this level, 162-ish, I've got it as 162.7 or 07, and we get a nice bar that looks like that would be handy, although a little bit more body would be good. Something like that would be okay. If that was sitting here, then yes, that again triggers my interest for a long position on Euro Aussie. But again, I don't want to be in that for a heck of a long time, because I think this is just stuck in this range as it was over here for such a long time. And then, of course, we got that virus thing, and we shot straight up to the top of this ascending channel. If I go a little bit wider, you'll see what I mean by that. There. That ascending channel, and we bounced off that like no tomorrow, and a complete waterfall straight back down to this previous support and resistance area that we are still stuck in right now, and that's kind of our base, if you like, that line there at 162. Do I expect this to go down to here? Yes, I do, at some stage, but again, I want to see this back up to here before I take that trade on. It's exactly the same in reverse as what I was describing on Aussie CAD. So yes, I want to go short, but I don't want to go short here. I want to go short from here, and that's pretty much the clue. Euro pound, we were speaking about that earlier. My trailing stop, which was just below entry, has now been triggered, which is a little bit sad because I thought we were going to get a whole bunch of pips out of this one. Of course, we'd taken 2 lots of profit, so there's no damage done, but we gave a little bit back to the market. We're doing similar on pound Kiwi, I might add. I'll have a look at that in the tick, but this still looks to me, and you just discussed this, Ash, and I agree with 100%, still looks to me as though we've got plenty of room to the downside here, and I'll be looking to get back into that at some stage. It's not the first time I've been in here, and I've been in a couple of other places as well. We're picking up little bits and pieces only as we go. Maybe I should be taking more profit as we go down, but I'm looking for the third position to get us the big bunch of pips in the can, but it's just not happening. We will continue the quest on that one. Pound Kiwi I spoke of, and this is now in a buy zone for me. So I will be looking to scale into this. I said that there were 3 areas that I wanted to scale into this, and we're still in, of course. And again, we've taken 2 lots of profit on this. I don't want to give it all back, but, you know, well, I won't be giving it all back, but all the gains since we took our second profit up here somewhere are now back in the hands of the bloody broker. And that's just something up with which we must put. And that's why I've kept my stop down here, to be honest. So I didn't get taken out of this when we did get the retrace that I was expecting entirely. And that's the last line of defense that we have at the 195 mark. And that's where I would like to really hit the skids again and scale right into this one. But we're also at a level right now where I need to consider that as well. It has been strong resistance in the past. Not so much support, to be fair, but there was a little bit there. But you can see the bigger level below us, which is that red line that I pointed out. And I think over time, months, Christmas time, January, if we're still down here, then I'll probably still be looking to scale into this. The possibility, of course, of our stops being taken out and this bursting through the bottom always remain, but I don't see that anytime soon, except, of course, Brexit is now in play again, and fundamentals can, of course, shape the market like nothing else, and that is what we're pretty much seeing at the moment. But not unexpected. We were expecting a big retracement here at some stage. We're getting it, and now we need to concentrate on how we get back, or how do we scale into this and make some more money if it does reach our target area around that 220 mark. So the only other one I'm still in is CAD Swissy, and that's looking pretty sharp, I've got to say. I'm pretty impressed with CAD Swissy. We've got to get through this level, of course, which is the most pressing, and around about the 70 handle, so it's a big number as well. But I do like last week's candle, last Friday's candle. That was pretty decisive, and again, you'd like to be thinking that this can go on with the job. I don't need to scale into this at present. Have we taken TP2? Yes, we have taken TP2 on this as well. So we're free trading this, where stops are entry. We can only win. It's a matter of how much. Like Euro Pound, we don't want to give it what we've currently got in the bank back to the broker, but I think our stops are still in the right place. They're just on the monthly pivot there. I'll keep those there until we do kick clear of this range. Once we do that, then I'll probably move them up and bank some more. But I'm liking CAD Swissy. I think it's in pretty good shape, and looking forward to banking some more on that this week as well. They're the trades that I'm in, chasing the Aussie pairs, as I said. Not sure at this stage which way. Ultimately, I want to go long, but I'm also prepared to go short to get long.
Is it the same for you, Jeff? In as much that this is a waiting game today, or you know, will these trades potentially trigger today for you?
No. That little euro trade is just a little speculator.
Yeah.
on what I'm seeing. Am I super keen to trade it? No, but what I'm saying on the Aussie pairs is they're going to take some time to set up. That one in particular, if it's got to come back into here, then it's going to take probably 2 or 3 days to do that. Aussie CAD's a possibility, I suppose, but again, it's gone too far today.
Yeah.
And the only way I want to trade it is back to the daily pivot, and that's kind of there, but I'm not that interested. If it were, I think if we were to have a US session today, then I'd probably be far more keen to do so. But I'm never a Monday fan anyway, to be honest. So a Monday on a bank holiday doesn't really tickle my fancy too much either. So I'm more than happy to wait till tomorrow. But yeah, I'll continue to watch them. There's no question about that. And if they do set up, then absolutely we'll have a little shot at them. But I don't expect that they're going to do too much from this point. I really don't.
No, I'd agree with that. I mean, also the longer term view of the CAD is quite tricky as well, isn't it?
On the CAD, and we've got news, yes.
Yes.
Coming up as well. So yeah, that's all going to play a part. I guess the good news of the day is the pound breakout trade that we take in the London session has gone through TP1 and 2 today, and nice. that's on its merry way. A little bit of a pause there at the moment, but yeah, that one's going okay. So
nice. And with that one, you only went short, didn't you?
Short today, yep. Short the pound.
And that's because we got some new parameters that have been implemented.
Well, we could only go short today, yes, because I've added my own trading strategy to the parameters.
Yeah.
Well, not all of my own trading strategy, but some of it, and that dictates that we have to take profit pretty quickly. In fact, at half of the risk that we take, if we go beyond that without taking profit, that is a dangerous position to be in. And I think we've proven that over the years. Well, not the years. Well, it's nearly a year since we started this, I suppose. And we don't trade into major resistance. So we had the monthly pivot and the daily pivot dead ahead of us on our potential trade this morning. So we ruled that one out. We weren't going to go long under any circumstance, and short was the only option. So here we are.
Yeah. So really, we've got to figure out how we're going to deal with this US session, haven't we? Because it's unlikely we're going to be getting too many trades on.
It is unlikely, but I think I can pan out some pretty good arguments for what we should be looking at tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll probably be going through those very, very carefully, and we can always chat about all sorts of and manner of things. We've got news coming out this week.
One thing we might having a quick chat about. Alan's got just a question about Brexit, and he doesn't understand why that when the pound drops, the FTSE would go up. So maybe that might be worth talking about as well.
Yep, there's a topic. Correlation's always a wonderful thing. And we better get there. Hey, it's time.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to what era are we in?
What
era? Are we in the
what era?
Musical era? Yeah, what musical era are we in?
Shivers me timbers.
Yeah.
I haven't prepared anything.
Oh.
We're into the noughties, aren't we?
I think we might be. No, the noughties was last week. So we're in the 2000s.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I was thinking of the 90s being the noughties. Yes, you're right, mate. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. Yeah, so we're into the noughties. You're right.
All right, Alan, you're excused, mate. Bring your late note next time. All right, guys, we're going to cut you guys off on the YouTube show, and thank you for being with us. We will be back tomorrow in the UK session for the UK Open, and of course this show again tomorrow. Have a good one. The guys who are subscribers to the US session will be back with you in just one moment.